Hello, everybody. This is Jose Blasco. Welcome to the session. Today it's August 1st, 2022. So we are just beginning a new month. We are beginning a new week as well. Happy Monday, everybody. My name is Jose Blasco, and this is our 3D market commentary where we spend around 15 minutes to go over 5 key markets. So we prepare ourselves since the US equity markets will start trading in 1 hour time. So this review is normally quite useful to be able to understand the market environment and know better, what's happening out there. Anyway, before we get started, a financial disclaimer is being highlighted on the upper left side of your screen. Please read it carefully. It is important information. It is fairly short, and therefore I am counting on you all to read it completely. Thank you so much. Again, important stuff. Anyway, so let's begin the session now that the session is officially introduced, and we're going to jump into the charts. The first chart for us to observe is the chart I have on the right. The symbol, as you can see on the watermark writings on the chart, is ES, which is the S&P 500 futures. The time frame is 1D, which stands for daily, 1 day, one candle. Each candle is 1 day. And what we have here is basically a very important market to be analyzed, which we're going to analyze from 3 different angles. Given the name of our session is 3D, those angles, those dimensions are going to be number one, the market climate, which tells us more about what is the upcoming market direction. We will learn more about how to find out that thanks to the use of AutoClimate, which is a free tool, by the way. I will explain later how you can get it. We also talk about the UFOs, that stands for on-field orders, and they look like UFOs, they look like flying saucers on the screen. Those flying saucers represent on-field orders to buy if it's green color, on-field orders to sell if it's red color. And this is where we expect the upcoming turning points, because when price rallies and gets to where the sell on-field orders are, the expectation, what normally tends to happen, is that the sell on-field orders get filled, and from there the market falls. And the opposite is true. If the market falls and gets all the way to where the green UFO is, the buy on-field orders get filled, and then we have a bounce in the opposite direction. Okay, this is why we are calling this a turning point. This is where we are calling that turning point. Those are expected to be thanks to the use of our patented technology, UFOs. And again, later I'll show you how you can get that. And finally, the last dimension is market volatility, which talks about the speed of movement, because market may have a very defined climate, but if it's moved too slow, it's a bit boring. If it moves too fast, depending on your level of expertise, it may be a bit too risky. So again, measuring volatility is indeed important to understand what is it that we got in our hands when it comes to trading. So I'm going to start going over all these analyses. Know that we send all this information in what we call our news flash, our 3D commentary in the news flash format. You can receive that in your inbox every day, 1 hour and a half before the US market opens. So it gives you plenty of time to analyze the data, and it's free. So follow the instructions on the screen so you can sign up and get access to the news flash. Anyway, we start with the on-field order. Sorry, we start with the S&P. We got a blue climate, which is confirmed. So climate is up, confirmed. It's currently running. Status is 3 out of what statistics suggest to be a normal thing to be, 8.69. So we can see the information here, 3 out of 8.69. Okay, here's the 8.69. So in other words, the market is set to move higher and is supposed to continue at least for 8.69 candles, which is a normal thing to happen based on statistics. Of course, you can see that sometimes the market stayed in blue color for less than 8.69 and sometimes for more than 8.69. But again, a one standard deviation, meaning a normal thing to happen based on probabilities, assuming a normal distribution, would be 8.69. Okay, so again, we are in an up climate, and that's what we have in our hands. Turning points to be expected way higher at 44.32 or way lower at 37.13. So it's not very ideal, where we are basically in the middle of nowhere. I mean, the climate says or suggests based on statistics the market is supposed to continue moving higher, but at the same time, not having any on-field order close by may imply that we may have a complete crash because there is nothing to stop it. So that's a bit delicate. We'll see later other markets that do have on-field orders around price, and that makes it as more stable, if I can use that term, as market opportunities. So again, orders to sell located at 44.3275, orders to buy located at 37.13.5, coinciding with the green and the red UFO, and speed of movement expected to be at a rate of 22.31%, which is the VIX, which is the implied volatility of options on the S&P 500 index. And if we reverse engineer that, so we come up with one standard deviation of expected price movement in a daily basis would be almost 58 points, either up or down. One standard deviation of expected movement, either up or down, in a weekly basis would be 127, almost 128 points, and in a monthly basis, almost 266 points, either up or down. That would be what's expected. Okay, so we're gonna move now to the second market, which is crude oil. I told you that auto climate is free, and I told you I would give you instructions on how to get it. You just need to go to our website, follow instructions on the screen, and in there you will find it. So Auto UFOs for TradingView, which is the platform I use on the right, and then you can get it here in the bottom part of your screen like I have it myself. So with crude oil, I'm just going to click 1, 2, 3. Here is crude oil. So what do we have? Well, crude oil, it's right now in a blue climate, which is unconfirmed, so up, not confirmed. Crude oil is doing exactly what we thought it would be doing. So last week we've been talking about it, how we were in an up climate that was reaching the statistical duration of 6.73. So if you count the amount of candles, the amount of dots, we were reaching the normal statistical duration, and therefore a change of climate was expected, and this was happening as we had a red UFO close by. And sure enough, crude oil hit that red UFO, on-field orders got filled, and we have crude oil falling 2.62% today, which is even less than what he's been falling since those on-field orders located at 100.89. So 100.89 is the sell on-field orders, 80.47 is the buy on-field orders, huge amount of room. In this case, you can see we are not in the middle of nowhere. We're not in the middle between the red and the green. We are very close to the red, and therefore, if crude oil falls, there is a lot of room for this market to fall before it stopped at 40.87, unless new on-field orders show up in the market, which this has not happened yet. Okay, so that's what we have. Speed of movement expected to be at a rate of 46.19%. This is extracted from the OVX, which is the implied volatility on options on crude oil futures. That, if you reverse engineer the pricing models, that is 2.83 points a day, either up or down, 6.22 points a week, either up or down, 12.95 points a month, either up or down. Okay, this is what this would mean. Next market, okay, it's going to be gold. And we're looking at gold. 1, 2, 3. Here's where we are. Okay, gold is kind of like doing the same thing than crude oil was doing, but with 1 or 2 days of delay, kind of. Notice how we were going down, then we started going higher. We hit the red UFO, and now you can see the resistance here. And price is fighting it, and probably from here it'll fall. Okay, now gold started going higher a bit sooner than crude oil, and it's given a climate which is confirmed, which is not the case with crude oil. Crude oil is giving a blue climate which is unconfirmed. Gold is confirmed. The statistical duration will be 5.85. You can see the value here. That will be the expected statistical duration, and we've been there for 2 candles only, so you would expect it to go higher, but again, the statistics are not taking into consideration where are the UFOs, which the sell on field orders are located at 1783.4, which is exactly where we are now. And given the fact that we are inside the red UFO, again, we expect gold to fall. Now, are we expecting gold to fall as much as crude oil? No. Why? Because there is a green UFO very close by, located at 1739.6. Okay, so we expect probably gold to give us a little bit of, undecided price action going from red to green for a while until this market decides to pick up direction either up or down, which we will see reflected on the climate. So far, we expect a little bit of ranging action here. So 16.49% is the GVZ, which is the implied volatility value for options on gold futures, which if we reverse engineer the pricing models, that is in one standard deviation of the cases, 18.59 points either up or down, 40.93 points either up or down in a week, 85.20 points in a month either up or down. So let's move to the next one, which is the dollar index. Okay, very, very important market. We've been talking about it big time. Okay, big time. The dollar, which the dollar is entering. It was kissing this green UFO on Friday, and from there it started bouncing higher. Now it's coming back down inside the UFO. You can see as price is entering the UFO, there is plenty of buy orders being filled, and therefore you can see that resistance, how this candle that was a full candle going down, it's now becoming a little bit like of a bullish candle, kind of like doji if you wish, type of. Not sure yet. Again, to be honest, no need to give names to the candles until the market closes, right? Because you have to wait for the close of the day. But anyway, you get my point. There is a little bit of buying pressure coming in, which is not a surprise because that's where the UFO is. So we are hitting that UFO located at 105.44. The climate is down so far. It's been down 3 days out of what statistics suggest a normal thing to happen to be 5.36. Notice it went from not confirm to confirm. So there is a little bit more of a strength, a real strength coming in the dollar index. Strength to the downside, I mean to say, which many would refer to as weakness. I meant power pushing down. And in this case, again, we are entering a green UFO and we don't have any red UFO on the screen yet. So I'm not too concerned at all, to be honest. And I would expect the dollar index to go back higher, which means probably we're going to see many other markets react to that and fall. Okay, so again, this is to be seen. Now, a totally different story would be, which this could happen later in the day or tomorrow, if we have a red UFO show up somewhere here. That's going to be a different story. And of course, if that happens, then into tomorrow, instead of a blank space here, we're going to have the values of a red UFO. So again, that's one of the reasons why I mentioned it's important for you to receive the news flash, so it can guide you, it can help you to understand the markets, especially if you're newer to trading. But yeah, just keep all of that in mind. And speed of movement expected to be at a rate of 10.61%, which is 0.7 points either up or down in a day, 1.55 points either up or down in a week, 3.22 points either up or down in a month. That is for our friend Mr. Dollar. And finally, moving into Bitcoin, which is falling by almost 4% today. So Bitcoin is falling. Notice that Bitcoin prices came to where the green UFO was and started going higher. And again, I mentioned on Friday, the importance of this high, which has not really been surpassed. So if we don't surpass that high again, we may, anytime, to be honest, we may have a red UFO show up here. And then you would expect now Bitcoin to fall all the way to 14,000. So if that's the case, again, we will mention that the moment that's on the screen. Auto UFOs is patented and real time, so those UFOs show whenever they appear, which could be anytime, really, right? So we'll talk about it if that's the case. But so far, we are in a blue climate, so the climate is up and confirmed. If the market falls again and we don't have a red UFO show up, then we are talking about buy and fill orders at 2,800. So again, if Bitcoin falls to 2,800, we would expect a bounce all the way to 29,000, which is the red UFO above. Again, assuming that no new red UFO will show up, which have not happened yet. Speed of movement for Bitcoin, 78%. Implied volatility is growing a bit, and this may be the sign that some people are starting to get scared or concerned and they're buying options for protection, or people that are being very excited and they want to benefit from this potential breakout and they are heavily loading their accounts with options on Bitcoin. Could be both, to be honest. Again, the climate and the UFOs will tell us the direction. But so far, we have a little bit of a greater expectation compared to last Friday. 1145 points a day, either up or down. 21 points a week, either up or down. 5,200 points, either up or down in a month. Okay? Cool. So that is for Bitcoin. Finally, the last comments here when it comes to the economic calendar. Really, the key protagonist, I'm just going to be pragmatic here, is going to be on Friday. Friday being the first tradable Friday of the month, where we're going to get the unemployment number in the US as well as in Canada. And this is the unemployment rate, meaning it's a percentage. It's not like the number of how people have been laid off or hired. We are talking about a percentage of the population which is unemployed versus the percentage of the population which is employed. So again, it's the very big number together with some other key economic reports, but concerning unemployment, that's the very big one. Okay, so we will expect certainly some volatility on that day. And of course, the other reports that you can see on the screen are indeed important, such as today we have the ISM manufacturing index, manufacturing PMI. So certainly an interesting number from an economic point of view, but again, the expected volatility would be less compared to the unemployment number on Friday. So that's the real protagonist to me. Anyway, everybody, my friends, it's been my pleasure as always to join you in this session. Again, have a good week ahead. Good trading, my friends. Stay safe. Do the good job as you always do. And if you need any help, support, we are here to help. If you need any of our technologies or courses or anything else, I have been highlighting some instructions on the screen during the session so you know how to get there. But again, if any question, feel free to message us and we'll be in touch. Take care, everybody. Trade well. Bye-bye.